he made the common mistake that men make to make their woman the therapist, and that's what caused him to do that, right? We all get conditioned to like not do that in your dating life. We get put in this place where like, what's the perfect intersection of vulnerability and actually being a man?
Welcome back to another episode of Breakup Season. I'm Qolett, the coach.
And I'm Benny.
And today we have a lot on the docket. Benny, did you do your homework?
Of course I did. Like,
Spoken like a true man who has done no homework. Well, before we hop into the heavier stuff, where are you on Love is Blind?
Yeah, so I made it to episode 10 last night, and they just had the rodeo. And I'm trying to remember the thing that popped out of my mind is like the most asinine shit that we saw.
Wait, you made it to episode 10?
I made it to the beginning of episode 10. Yeah, I made it through the rodeo. Yeah.
So there was a significant argument at the beginning of that episode.
Oh, don't quiz me.
Between Annie and your favorite, Nick.
Okay. I haven't, yeah. So I didn't process that yet. So
Okay.
I think because I was watching. So yeah, I watched last night and then I got tired. So like the fact that I'm in the beginning of episode 10, I'm not really there.
Okay. Okay. So what's the last thing you processed? What are your big?
The last thing I remember in my head is KB and Edmund getting into an argument where it's like she's trying to communicate with him, but he's like deflecting or something, and he's like just trying to like minimize her concerns. So she gets where she walks off, and then he's in the doghouse.
I struggle processing that relationship because it's so parental to me. Nothing about it seems romantic. There's no affection. There's no kissing and hugging, any of that. It seems like mother-son, which makes sense for a lot of reasons. For one, she's a social worker. Two, she grew up absent father home, so she was probably parentified at a young age. So those two things kind of make it seem like she's bringing her work home with Edmund. And then because Edmund has that traumatic background, he probably thrives with a mother figure around, and she's kind of being that mother figure, but in a really toxic way. That relationship stresses me out.
Yeah, it does. It's weird because he was comfortable enough. And I mean, you know, can't knock it all the way either, but he was comfortable enough to like cry in front of her and say, "I'm too nice." You know, it's like,
how did you feel about that scene? Oh, that I would have left if I were her. That's the end. I'm no longer on the show.
You're like, shop is closed.
Shop is closed.
Like, don't look at me no more. Like,
no, and on the interviews, because you know they do like interviews and stuff for all the blogs. She said that night she slept on the balcony.
Yeah.
He did not feel comfortable sleeping in the same bed as him.
Yeah. So you're up to speed with all the after details and everything.
I have all the tea. I have all the tea.
I believe it. Hey, but like when I see that, I'm like, yeah, of course that makes sense. But somehow or another, he felt okay. So we won't chalk it up to like being vulnerable. It's like he made the common mistake that men make to make their woman the therapist, and that's what caused him to do that, right? Mm-hmm. So that is very parental. And like as dudes, you know, we all get conditioned to like not do that. You know, in your dating life, you learn these little lessons and stuff, you know. Mm-hmm. And it's weird because like we get put, so this is a topic, right? We get put in this place where it's like what's the perfect intersection of vulnerability and actually being a man? Mm-hmm. Right? Because you don't want to be the guy that's like always stoic and this kind of thing, right? Because now you're a fucking robot. The girl doesn't want a robot, right? But then also, like, how do you not like how you can be strong for her still, you know? And my attitude towards that is like this. It's like be willing to tell your girl what you're going through. Mm-hmm. Like be transparent about what you're feeling, but never put the weight, like the responsibility of that on the woman, right? So it's like, hey, do what?
The responsibility of fixing it?
Of fixing it, or like taking the emotional weight. So like for me, it's like, okay, if I'm having a shitty day or I'm going through something, hey, look, I know I'm like my energy's off today. Sorry if it affects you. I've just got this going on. I've got this going on. It's fucking sucks. I'm actually really stressed out. But hey, like I got it. I'm just letting you know, like this is what I'm dealing with right now.
That's called solid communication. I love it. This is where I'm at mentally. If I seem a little off, it's not because of you, it's because of what I'm going through. Love that.
Yeah, and you don't put the helplessness like in her corner, be like, here, you have this.
Right.
Right. And that's the breakdown about him being too nice,
Right.
because he's just giving her the helplessness. He's like, hey, you made me feel, and it's like, it's a genuine thing that he's feeling and a genuine thing that he's struggling with, but maybe better dealt in therapy, or, like he hasn't taken a hard enough look at that, I guess, on his own.
If Edmund was your client, that would be your process. That'd be your advice to him. That's the therapy and learning how to manage his emotions and communicate a little better.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, like you can be transparent about what you're feeling. Don't put the weight on it. So if he felt rejected because, I mean, that really, I would have killed it at the cause. So the only reason that discussion happened was because she called him out for being bothered by not having sex.
Right.
I would have hid the shit out of that. I wouldn't have been transparent about it. I'd be like, girl, I mean, it'll happen when it happens. Don't worry. Yeah. And
I think honestly, so on one hand, I get the wanting to date different and handle it, because she said that like in past dating relationships, she was really forward with sex. It happened pretty early in the relationship, but because of that, she didn't get to build the kind of intimacy, because a lot of people confuse sex and intimacy. They're two different things. They kind of go hand in hand, but
that was killing him. He's like, you can make me wait 6 months, 9 months, and Joe Blow just hit it. Like he hated
and that's what killed him. But I think he didn't have the maturity and depth to realize that she's actually putting him on a pedestal. Like, hey, I want to get to know you way better than I did those guys. And I want us to have a relationship that's so much better with them than the relationships I had with them, that I want to handle this different. I want to handle it with more respect. So on one hand, I get where she's coming from with that. I totally respect that thought process. Yeah. On the other hand, if their relationship wasn't so mother-son, if it wasn't so parentified, I feel like she maybe would have folded at some point. If she was really into him, like, I really like this guy. We're living together. We're sleeping in the same bed. He's giving me what I need to feel comfortable. We're growing. I feel loved by him. I feel like maybe she would have been like, damn, I want to go to this next level with him.
I agree. I totally agree. And that's the thing. It's like, it's only an issue because he didn't cut his teeth. If he had a few, notches on his bedpost already or whatever, which I'm sure he's a good looking guy. He's a real.
Wait, you think he's a virgin?
I don't think he's a virgin, but okay. Let me back up. There's some guys that have So hear me out on this. There's some guys that have like body count in the hundreds.
I'm listening. Right? I'm grabbing something, but I'm listening.
Yeah, no worries. Some guys have body counts in the hundreds, right? And clearly, like if you're in the hundreds, 100 wasn't enough for you to kind of chill out and get your validation from your experience, right? So you can have sexual experience and still not have the validation. Be like, okay, like I checked the box. I pretty sure girls like me in general, right? Like some guys just have that black hole and they just keep going. It's like to the effect of like the cheesy pickup artist or whatever, or the Eternal Bachelor or whatever.
Yeah.
So he might have experience, but like somehow whatever he has isn't enough to sort of like conquer within himself, like that thing where it's like set, like I don't need, like it's okay if I don't hook it. Like I've had girls over recently that like
had girls over recently, Benny.
It's like it didn't happen, but like I remember like being younger where like you kind of like want it to happen, then you like wonder like why wasn't I good enough for something to happen, or did I do something wrong? It's like I don't even worry about that now, but a lot of that's because like I've already kind of like cut my teeth. But for him, I don't think that thing has like happened yet or whatever. And that's
when you say cut your teeth, is that like sow your wild oats? Is it the same?
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, okay. You've got your value. But for me, I was the extremely socially inhibited nerd that like had to go through like those experiences. Otherwise, like I was always going to feel less than. So for me, it's like
I kind of like him because he's kind of a socially inhibited nerd. I think he has a different background than you did, obviously. Yeah. But he's socially inhibited nerd and hasn't had those experiences to make himself feel confident in dating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what most people do is they turn to like men's dating forums and they start handling the shit privately, but he just took it straight to her.
He took it straight to the most extreme form of dating of all kinds. Because they're only in those pods for like 9-10 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, but you mentioned a couple seconds ago, you mentioned body count. Is that something you would ask in the pods?
I just tend to get real. Like I think that they go deep, right? Because they got weak with just nothing but going deep. So to me, I think it would come up. I have no problem saying mine to a girl, and I know that the kind of girl that's going to date a dude with like face tats, they're going to like get. It's not like two, you know. You know. But it's like
so you're saying you would discuss yours. I'm asking, would you ask theirs, or is that something you?
I mean, if I got the sense that it was like a private thing for them, then I guess I would be okay, like not knowing. But see, the thing is, like, I'm going to create an environment of such non-judgmentalness and such like realness that even if your body count is high, like you're probably not going to feel weird telling it to me because like we're probably going to be on the same level or something to that effect. So to me, it's really a non-issue. Yeah. I'd probably go there. Yeah, I'd probably ask, but it wouldn't be like weird or this like thing that's like scary to talk about, you know?
Okay. Would you like maybe you would lead with yours probably, I feel like.
Yeah, for sure. But again, if you do that, you know, it's like, what are you trying to do? Because if you're trying to like flex on the girl
something.
Like yeah. So I don't know. It's very theoretical. But like eventually I feel like it would get there because it's as a fearful avoidant, I want to know my partner inside and out. I want to know everything. I want to know all your fucking fondest memories, all that shit, right?
Yeah.
And I like to be known too. So to me, that here's the other thing. As a freak, I want to know like all your wildest experiences. I want to know like all the crazy shit. I want to do some new shit. So it's gonna go there for sure.
I'm trying to find the name of this couple. Have you ever watched 90 Day Fiance?
No, but I'm aware of what it is. Actually, fun fact, I was in there. Whatever company creates that show, they also have another dating show. So I don't know.
Match Me Abroad.
Okay. So whichever one of those shows where they have a coach on, I was like interviewed for that process. They were looking at me to like come on the show, but I didn't make the cut.
Oh, that's crazy. I got interviewed for the same position for Married at First Sight.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, they reached out
for
to
like
me
a coaching position? For a coaching position or whatever? So maybe it was the same thing. You maybe got further in the process because they didn't tell me which show it was. I just knew.
Like, they told me immediately. They actually, I got reached out by 2 different recruiters. I got reached out to participate and be one of the people that might get married. And I got reached out to be a coach for the same season.
Hey, that means they like you on camera. It doesn't matter how. They just want you on camera.
No, but so I asked about 90 Day Fiance because there's a couple on there, Sarper and Shekinah. Shekinah is from the US. She grew up in like I want to say like an Amish almost background. Very religious, very traditional, very conservative, long dresses, hair covering, but she didn't say Amish, but it kind of gave a similar energy. Ended up moving to LA. She has the Kim Kardashian aesthetic now. Goes on a trip, meets a guy night and day. It's actually like a good watch for like studying the psychology of it. But anyway, goes on a trip to Turkey, meets this guy named Sarper, who used to be an exotic dancer, and he stripped for bachelorette parties. And he said his body count was 2,500. And
I've heard of claims of like there's this one guy named John Anthony. He's not even like, he doesn't even seem that cool. I don't even know if but he claims to have some like count in the thousands. That sounds crazy. Maybe a guy that's doing what he did. I could see how that would be true.
Well, he said brides would like, they wanted one last roll in the hay before the wedding. But see, I bring that up because if somebody told me that type of information, that would make them so unattractive to me. That tells me that you're like sexually undisciplined, and that would sound like
Right.
issues.
Well, that is an extreme outlier to me.
Yeah.
I would that would be crazy. I
Yeah.
had a friend that one of my best friends. I dated her for a couple weeks, and then we like figured out that it wasn't going to be a thing. But she had an account that was um I th- so her identity secret, so it doesn't matter. But her count was up there like triple digits, which
Yeah.
and she was fucking savage. She was fucking savage. I don't know. Yeah,
She sounds like a good
yeah,
time. She sounds
yeah.
like I like her already.
Oh, she's she's a cool ass person, but you don't want to fuck with her. But yeah,
So
so
anyway, you think that going back to the topic, you think that had Edmund had more of a affirming sexual experience or just dating experience in general pre Love is Blind, that he may
he
have
would have
had
been
a more
calm.
successful
Yeah, he would have
experience.
just said, "Hey, it doesn't worry. We'll have sex when we have sex." I mean, I don't know how long you can wait, but hey, we'll see what happens.
Well, she
Like,
just wanted to. This is the crazy thing about the show, because it's these extreme stakes, right? You go from not knowing somebody to marrying them within a 2-month period.
yeah,
Okay, so with that in mind, I don't want to have sex for 2 months is different than I don't want to have sex until we get married. It kind of sounds
um,
different, but it's the same thing. All she was saying is, hey, I want to wait a little bit. The show's only filming over a 2-month period.
yes,
But
yes,
because the stake is so high, it's marriage, that it makes that 2 months seem different.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Now, what I find is that most girls will sleep with the guy within 3 dates if they like the guy, like if he does well and they like him. So it is like 2 months is still kind of a stretch. Now,
Yeah.
look, as a guy, if you like the girl enough, it doesn't matter. Like as long as like you know she's a quality woman, it shouldn't
Yeah.
matter to wait a few months. Like it's not a big deal. If I found a girl that I was like, wow, this girl is fucking awesome, I would
Yeah.
do it. For the same reason why Edmund shouldn't get upset. But the point is that like that's not really the norm. And if you're and this is a whole side rabbit hole, but like to me as a like they have the whole like there's this like philosophy out there like 90 or what is it like no kissing for 90 days. Have you heard of this like the Canadian
I'm not,
dating culture?
I like her. I know
You like
exactly
it?
who you're
Okay,
talking
okay.
about. I like her.
But here's the problem. If I'm a dude and I have options, like, and I'm not talking about just fuckboy, right? Because there's a difference between like a guy that's hot, he's got his shit together, and he's like a good catch, versus like a guy that's only hot or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But a guy, even that quality guy, he's going to have access to sex sooner than that, right?
For
And then it
sure.
makes the question, well, is that the thing that makes the difference between a quality woman and not? No, of course not. But if all things being the same, it could be. So I think you could
I
get
hear what you're
overlooked.
saying.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying. On the other side of it, because our society is so hypersexualized and all these things, I like the idea of holding those things back because, for one, you get to her theory isn't just about holding back sex and kissing and all that just to see what he can go through. The theory is based on, let me get to know you as much as possible and your patterns of behavior and your values and all these things so I can make an informed decision, instead of my decision is now swayed by we've had sex and there's those type of emotions involved now, and now I'm not making a clear decision on who you are, and I might let things slide that are actually really important to me because now there's that sexual attraction as well, which is it will cloud your judgment. So I get, as a woman, I totally 1000% get that mindset, and I'm actually kind of a fan of it.
You know what's funny? After this recent separation and after
Mhm.
like now running like a bigger business and having lots of shit going on and then also like dabbling around in the dating pool and just becoming dissatisfied and then also like being a dating coach and seeing all the red flags like that it doesn't
Seeing
seem
all the shit that happens.
yeah, like I like even like, and I'm somebody that was like sexually repressed as a nice Catholic young boy, like,
Mhm.
and so I rebelled against that. But like, from this position I'm in now, it like I don't think I have much bad to say about that,
Yeah.
because it makes
Yeah, I
sense.
don't think it's about like, let me see what I can put him through. It's like, let me make sure that I really, really like everything about this person so I can go in and make an informed decision that I can really stand behind.
Yeah.
From that perspective, I really like it. I think it's definitely hard because it's not the norm in our dating culture. But I also found that as a woman, when you hold to your boundaries, you're going to get a more quality man because he's put up with those and he really wants to be there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm a fan of it. I've never done it. No, I've done the 90 days no sex. I've never done 90 days no kissing. I was like, oh, this is a higher boundary. But I don't know. I'm of the no sex until commitment school of thought.
So on average, people take about 2 months to before they go exclusive, typically. So that sound about right. Like you make a dude wait for. So
me and Calabria would have been on the same thing then.
Yep.
2 months. Yeah.
Y'all need to you need to double team up with her, open up another dating.
No, she needs to go to therapy too. She has some stuff she needs to work on that will help her not parentify her potential partners, because that's the other side of it. It could have never gotten sexy between them because that's her son.
Yeah, right.
He would have never been sexually attractive to her because she's basically raising him.
Yeah, I feel it.
So how do we how are you feeling about Sparkle, Megan, and Jordan at this?
I think you told me on the side that you weren't happy about any of the couples this season.
Oh, I hate them all.
Yeah.
I think they're my favorite out of they're least hated.
Okay, yeah, because that's what I was gonna say. Because it's like, look, he's not on her level, not financially, not maturity wise, but he is a genuine guy, I think, and I think
he's a good guy.
Yeah, I think, and he handled like meeting the family well, and he had the house shopping experience, like with what do you call it, like humbleness, like he was, right, like he kind of knew where he stood. He didn't want to like shoot it all down. Like my worry was that he was going to be like, oh, this is too fancy. You know, like people get stuck in their little like lower class like mindset. Like it seemed like he was open to letting her have her stuff, and he knew what he could do. He didn't want to ask for too much, but he was just like humble, and I like that. So and it seems like he was supportive to her emotionally at times. That one party they went to earlier on in this season, I can't remember. He was like fucking around too much. He wasn't really present for her that night, so that was kind of like a dick. But like I think
he's used to more stoic men, and he was a little too jovial for her.
Yeah. Like you could see that she, like the way Mike presents externally, that's like probably more ideal for her in that sense.
But have you heard the gossip about Mike?
No.
He apparently owes a bunch of people money for business expenses he hasn't paid. He owes a bunch of ex-employees money, and he's just generally he's very abusive with his role in his company.
Okay, yeah, so she dodged a good bullet.
And he kind of showed that when he even admitted, like, hey, I'm just testing you to see how you'll react to this. Like, that was like a sprinkle of him showing he could be mentally abusive moving forward.
Yeah, but I think he has the thing that Jordan doesn't have all the way, even though he's got the tats and everything. Like he's got that sort of like more like stoic demeanor than Jordan does or whatever.
For sure.
But personality wise, like no, like yeah, clearly there's some issues there. But other than that, like I like them as a couple because
I don't hate them as a couple because they're bad people. I don't like them because I think they're socially mismatched. But
yeah, okay, I agree.
Think they're both
because like it's going to be harder for him to keep the masculine polarity if she's the one that can always provide and he can't do it at the same level. That could color their bedroom. You know, like that could color their sexuality later. So that's my little thing with it.
I should have sent you this clip. I saw it yesterday. They released some unseen footage from some of the couples. And there was a scene where Megan brought Jordan to meet her friends. And one of her friends said, so remember there was all that chatter in the pods about him trying to guess what car she drives?
I'm trying to remember. Okay. Wait. When Megan, let me go back because my brain skipped a beat. Somebody's hit me up about my stolen car at the moment. So I just went, okay. So when Megan introduced Jordan to her friend, and what happened?
Her friend said, how did you feel pulling up in your little Kia next to Megan's Range Rover? But this was a clip that came out after. It wasn't in the show. They released this clip after.
Yeah. What did he say?
I didn't see, they didn't show his response, but I just didn't like, I don't know. I feel like her friends were trying to emasculate him. Like, I feel like that's why it would have never worked, because not only is he on her level socially, her class of friends would have never accepted him.
Yeah, but they would, because that's a shit test. If he was like, "Oh, you should see my other car. It's a fucking 73 Ford Pinto, mustard yellow, peppered with red." Yeah, we're gonna put that on.
You would have clapped back.
Yeah, and you gotta, so this is another like pickup artistry type thing, but like when women usually shit test you when they like you. So if they suspect, because if they don't like you, you're just out. You get no attention. But like if they suspect that you might be, you might be likable, and I realize the friends aren't screening him for the same thing. They're screening for like the group acceptance. But the point is, if you call out an obvious thing and the person's like touchy about it, okay, fuck this person. But if you call it out and they can like lean into it. So you shit test me, and whatever you give me shit for, I need to lean into it and almost take it to the extreme. So like if it's this whole thing, then it's like, oh no, I'm Mr. T, girl. Like you just don't. I had the Michael Jackson treatment, but I'm really Mr. T. Or something. It's like I would need to lean into it. Like if you're giving me shit, right? So that's the thing that he could have done there. And I think that if you do that enough time in the friend group, even if you're some outlier, like you can get accepted, but it's so mentally hard to do. There's so much pressure, and most people don't pass the test, I think.
Right. A lot of confidence involved in that.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't think about it that way. In my mind, I was like, why are her friends being so rude to him? That's so like, I would have had words with my friends to the side.
Giving them a chance to like this, and I do this like in the dating world too. I think I ruin a lot of opportunities too, because I'll like go straight in for the kill and like start talking shit on some obvious thing, because what I'm hoping for is that the person just like doesn't take it personally, just laughs along and plays along.
Yeah.
And it's like I think that they're giving him a chance to like be cool, and then either he takes it or he doesn't.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, I didn't think about it that way.
Yeah.
What about your favorite couple, Annie and Nick? Your faves.
Okay. So I texted you about this. She freaked out, right? She earlier they had they were in the hotel room. I can't remember what episode code. Maybe 6, 7, something like that.
They were in Mexico.
Yeah, it must have been Mexico. Yeah.
Okay.
So she flips out on him in the bed, like it was some gaslighting shit, something crazy. It was some like emotional warfare type stuff.
You don't love me. I love you more than you love
they're
me.
laying in the bed, and he's trying to say, hey, look, why are you taking it there? Like we don't have to.
Right.
And it was clear she was trying to like press his button somehow. And I thought he did a good job of responding to that. He was being patient. He didn't overreact. He was kind of like saying, let's go to sleep, but it wasn't so insistent that it felt like he was for sure just deflecting her feelings. He was just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I don't get this. Like, and I thought he handled that well. And so like, I've been coming back around because I fucking hated him early in the season where he's like in the pod saying, oh, like, I love you so much. Like, say, it's like, and he's with like this blank expression on his face.
Yeah.
And then they even call it out.
And to back you up on that, to validate that, a lot of the cast doesn't like him either.
Yeah. So, because they say it in the episode. They're like the chick, like the Kate chick that comes to the party. She's like, yeah, no one likes him, or he's fake when she's talking to Madison, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, clearly, like, nobody really liked him except for the guy that's like abusing his employees and
the two sociopaths.
Yeah, they're like two psychopathic peas in a pod or something like that. I caught myself kind of liking him for the way he was handling Andy for a little bit, but I think you said something to me that made me kind of like watch him a little bit closer, like for the rest of the episode I was watching, and he just has this fucking blank expression, like he's just manipulating everything, right?
I think he's really unlikable because he reads as a sociopath. But then she comes off as very unlikable because she's so unstable. And so when they're in the same scene, it's like, who do I hate more? And her instability, like he's so even keeled that her instability like overtakes his, like she's taking more of the energy in the scene. So it's like, okay, this man is clearly not emotionally available for anything. He clearly has nefarious intentions. Maybe he's just here to get clout. Maybe he's just here to be seen. Maybe he's just here to grow his business. Like he doesn't seem like somebody who wants to get married. But she's so crazy that we can't even process what his intentions are because she's just going so far left.
Yeah.
I can't wait for you to watch episode 10. I feel like you're gonna
Yeah.
Like, you know how you text me how every time something crazy happens?
Yeah.
I feel like you're gonna FaceTime me. You're gonna be like,
okay. I'm not too far. So it's like, well, I got a confession to make. Aside from that scene in Mexico, I haven't really been able to pick up on Annie's red flags. So that's some kind of weird male blind spot in me. So like, I haven't really disliked her at the same level that I've disliked other people because they just had to hit me like that.
So but for Annie, for me, the "you don't love me as much as I love you" thing, that was insecurity. And every time I'm watching a show like this, my mindset is always, if this is my client, this is what I would tell them, or this is what I would have them do, or this is what their treatment would be. And like, Annie is somebody that I think needs to not date for a while until she works on her insecurity. She's very insecure. She's very, I'll do anything to get a ring, which is not a healthy mindset to go into a relationship or marriage with.
She's kind of doing what Edmund was doing, which is like, she's complaining about wanting to be at the top of the power dynamic. Like, hey, you should want me more, Yeah.
And then there was the scene, I don't know if you caught this or not, when they were at the rodeo and they're all, because remember, that's the scene where they're all seeing each other for the first time, like everybody else that was in the pods. They haven't seen each other physically until then.
Yeah.
So she meets Brendan. She's talking to Brendan and she's like, oh, you're not treating me like I'm your number one. Like, you broke up with him. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Why do you want this man to be begging for your attention? You broke up with him in the pods. You're not his priority.
Well, I thought she was just like justifying her choice. So that's the way I took her saying that. Like, it didn't seem like she wanted it right then and there.
See, to me, it kind of seemed like she was like, really? Why aren't you treating me like I was your number one? And I was like, girl, you dumped him. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So I think she's somebody, and I think you'll see once you finish episode 10, you're gonna be like, what the fuck did I just watch?
I don't know. That's a blur. All I can remember is Allie straddling that bull, and the rest of it's a blur.
You don't have a crush on Allie, do you?
She's so hot.
And she's tatted. I feel like you guys would like. Really? You guys would look. Yeah, she has a half a sleeve here and a half a sleeve here.
All right, step aside, Anton. Let me.
Speaking of stuff that happened at the rodeo, what was, I think the other Annie, the Asian girl?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
She met up with, what's his name?
She met up with Patrick. She said,
how do you feel about that?
She told him, so here's how I feel about that. Her point was valid. She's like, hey, you just like picked another girl and said that you loved her like the second time. Like, but you know what? That's the cutthroat nature of the dating world.
And like, that show.
And the show. So he was like put in this helpless position, like, well, what the fuck? Like, you're the one that wanted to leave. I didn't want to leave, so I'm back on my game plan, right?
And she left without saying goodbye or giving him any explanation.
Yeah, okay, but I know that. And it's not like, yes, that hurt him. But I look at everything like, how does the dating world naturally work? And to me, it's very cutthroat. And it's cutthroat the way Patrick found a plan B, and it's cutthroat the way she left him. And that's just the way shit tends to work, in my opinion. And I've had experiences where I dated girls for long enough and it got right to that point where it was like either going to be commitment or not. And when I didn't go for it, like a week or two later, they're instantly in a relationship with whoever was like orbiting in the background. Like I've seen that happen to my clients too a lot. They were just kind of holding out for their plan A or whatever. But yeah, I felt like she put him in a helpless position. Like he was just doing what he had to do for the rest of the show. But I think she did have a point, and I think her feelings are valid. It's like, how could she just turn them back on, because he just said, okay, let me go over here or whatever.
Yeah. I think actually what you just said is a really good segue into the male loneliness crisis and like the cutthroat nature of dating.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? Do you think the male loneliness crisis is a real thing, or do you think it's fake?
No, I think it's real, because women, you guys are so like evolved on this different level. Because
are you sure you didn't read the notes?
I didn't.
Keep going. We're evolved on another level, and
because what's given us advantage physically has allowed us to not have to figure out some other stuff. And I think that the emotional and social intelligence of women is like on another level. And this is why y'all's brains like evolve quicker and ours are like late. There's all these reasons. This is just my little layman's hypothesis on this, but I see this in breakups a lot too. Women retain their social network even after the breakup. The dude's friends, his family, people that she met through his hobbies or whatever. Like as a woman, you can walk into any social circle and be accepted, right? You're celebrated wherever you go. As a dude, you have to like, and I'm sure there's an aspect to this too. So cut me some slack. I'm speaking generally, but as a dude, you're more like a cave bear than you are a fucking ant. And you kind of work for yourself and your own little family, and you got to kind of work your way through hierarchies and stuff. And I think that that male loneliness, like, it's a product of that, because we're not as socially focused.
Interesting. When you said evolution, it reminded me of, I wish I would have saved it, but my TikTok feed refreshed right after I watched it and I haven't been able to find it. But the young lady whose TikTok it was said that she doesn't think the male loneliness crisis is a real thing. She thinks it's evolution at play. And that we are now in the position that because we have more rights now, we can have our own homes, we can have our own money. We're not as dependent on men for our financial standing. And because of that, we can decide whose kids we want to have, who we want to have relationships, who we don't want to have relationships with. And a lot of us, I know you've seen it probably too, a lot of women are choosing to stay single for longer amounts of time, and build social networks in different ways, and not necessarily rely on a relationship for your social network. And so because of that, we're also kind of in charge of like whose genes make it to the next
yeah, that's right,
to the next level.
That's absolutely
and
right.
I don't know if that level of social growth that you said women has a genetic component to it, but I have noticed that the men that don't have the good social skills aren't going to be able to pass their genes to the next generation. Yep. So, which leads me to my hypothesis: is it a male loneliness crisis, or is it just evolution at play in a social?
Yeah, I think it could be both, right? Because those people getting weeded out, they're going to be pretty fucking lonely.
They're getting weeded out, and their genes aren't going to make it to the next generation.
Yeah, and that's where you can choose to cry about it or do something about it. And I think that's the burden of the man specifically, right? And women, y'all have your own struggles, right? Like we don't know what it's like to give birth to a baby, to have a period every month and all this kind of shit. But like, but our struggle is like, do fucking better, right? Right. That's the way I treat it. Like if I didn't do better, obviously I wouldn't be here, and neither would you, of course. But if I didn't do better, I would have never got a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Right. I would have for sure been weeded out. And now I got 5 kids.
And that's why I thought you'd be a prime person to talk to about this, because you said like you were very sexually repressed growing up. You didn't have any social skills growing up. You didn't have a lot of dating experience before a certain age, but now you have 5 kids. So you have beat the odds. You speak very highly of both of the mothers of your children. So I know you still have a good relationship with them, despite the fact that the relationships didn't work out. You still have a good social arrangement with them, which is like a huge thing. Especially like when I'm dating men with kids. If you talk crazy about the mother of your child, that tells me a lot about you. But you speak highly about the mothers of your children. You have good relationships with your children. So you've been able to beat the odds. So being somebody that has beat the odds, again, is it an actual epidemic, or is it people refusing to make the change that they need to make to be able to?
Well, yeah, but that's the epidemic. I think it's the same thing, right? It's like you're suffering because you don't figure out what to do. All the solutions are out there.
So, but okay, so I guess my question is it self-imposed, or is it something that
it's
society
ignorance?
needs to
It's
take
ignorance and lack of motivation, probably, right?
Yeah.
So to me, shit, I'm 44, so maybe 15 years ago or something, or 20 years ago, I just started typing into YouTube, like, what is confidence, how to get confidence, all the things that I was feeling. I could just go to a fucking screen, type in a phrase, weed out the people that sound like they're fake, and then just listen to the people that sound real. And that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can do that, but you have to like, I don't know. And then like people identify with like syndromes and they identify with like labels and stuff like that, like diagnoses and stuff like that. It's like, there was a point where I thought that I might, so I was getting terrible sleep. I was having this huge delay between like perceiving what's being said to me and processing it, like laughing at the joke on time, and just like I had like all this like real like heavy social issues that was happening. And I came to the conclusion, like, what if I'm just like mentally handicapped? Like I literally thought this to myself at one point.
Yeah.
You know what I said to myself? I'm like, you know what? If that's the case, I don't want to fucking know. I don't care. I'm just going to champ through this no matter what. I'm going to find a way. I'm just going to like keep going.
Yeah.
And I feel like that distinction right there, where I was up to that point where it's like I could kind of go one path or the other, that made the difference between what happened with me.
Yeah.
And I feel like that same choice is like any guy that's like not making friends, not getting girlfriends, whatever. Let's go fix. All the answers are out there. Just go fix it.
That's like the difference between coaching and therapy as well, is that it's more forward thinking, and it's like, okay, this is where I am now, but I'm going to accept that and keep moving forward instead of letting where I am right now hold me back.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. There's a guy that I follow. His name's Owen Cook. He's a really super smart dude. And he talks about giving yourself the permission to act like the end result, as long as you're taking the steps along the way. I think
for sure. For sure. I agree with that mindset. I saw this quote a long time ago, and it said, when you go to sleep, the first thing you do is pretend to sleep. And that's how you like sleep. And that's how the rest of life works.
That's
like,
funny.
You do a thing, you just start pretending to be that thing until you become it.
Lay down, close your eyes. You're not asleep yet, bro.
You're pretending. And then at some point you sleep.
That is funny.
That's how the rest of life works.
Mm-hmm.
Like people want all these ducks to be in a row and everything to be perfect. No, you just start, you give yourself permission to start becoming whatever that is. And then at some point along the way, after a bunch of pretending, you become, earnest pretending, like earnest and putting the work and all that, but you become it at some point for sure.
Totally. Yeah.
Okay, so for you, I had this question because I think it's beneficial since the crisis affects men more than women. How do you help men build an emotional network and connections before chasing romantic connections? Is that something you do with your?
Yeah, I tell them to. Yeah, so I kind of run through this like visualization process. Okay, like think about like who's your idol? Could be your dad, could be James Bond. Like who's
Maybe it's you. Maybe their idol is Benny.
That's me. Close your eyes. Think about me. and I'll tell them to do a little inventory. What does James Bond have that you don't have? Okay. And what is it that you like about him that he has that you don't have? Okay. Well, because he's your idol for a reason. It's not yourself, maybe. So if it's not you, what is the guy that has the thing, what does he have? So then they can kind of itemize some stuff. Oh, well, he wears tailored suits. He can shoot guns. He's good with women. He drives fast, fancy cars. And it's like, what, and some of the surface level, right? But like for you as a person, there's a reason why that stuff matters to you. And if there's a skill gap between James Bond and you in terms of shooting guns, driving cars, whatever, go invest in those disciplines, right? And those hobbies will have social circles around them.
For sure.
Right. So for me, my issue was that, I wasn't good with women and I couldn't fight. Those two things like killed me inside. So when I started training jujitsu, like it's instant friends, like instant.
Right.
You're doing something
The
hard.
gang's already there.
Yeah. So to me, if you can just figure out what your path should be, and there's ways to like figure this out. Like thinking about your idol and stuff like that. You just go meet the people along the way.
Yeah. That are already doing the things that you want to get better at.
Yeah. Cool. And we try shit. We don't know. Oh, maybe I got to try this. I don't know if it's for me or not. You set it down fine. But I think if you kind of like think about like who you idolize, it's a good way to find like the thing that that you probably should be doing.
Right. It gives you like a framework. It's sometimes easier to think about that framework with other people instead of for yourself because like you don't have to do it.
I think you kind of know it though, because for a long time I went through this like cloudiness. I remember like staying up late at night and like scrolling the internet, just searching for like purpose and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I kind of knew deep down like what the main things were. I just didn't like open it up enough. I think most people kind of know like close to what path they should be going.
Who was your idol when you did the visualization for yourself?
I think that Hickson Gracie. So I don't know if this was like what it was like back like before when I was thinking about stuff. But when I think about like
this was pre-social media too when you did this.
Well, yeah, like I'm not going to remember back that far what my answers would have been, but like in the iterations that I've done since, like in recent memory, like Hickson Gracie is one of them. Where if you know UFC 1, like the guy that won the first UFC. Are you familiar with this?
I'm familiar with what UFC is. When I worked at Hooters, UFC night was a lot of money.
Right.
So, so I know the concept.
The cool thing about UFC was that it was the call out for all these martial arts that said they were the shit. So they're like, oh, you're like the best karate master. Cool. Let's fight in the ring. Let's see which one actually
Prove it.
Right. So then that's what MMA has evolved from, which is that like, okay, there's only certain shit that works: boxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, et cetera, right? Mm-hmm. And long story short, Royce Gracie, a guy from Brazil, won the first UFC because nobody knew what jiu-jitsu was back then. So it just dominated because nobody had those skills. So they just fucking like tore through everybody, okay?
Yeah.
Well, so they picked him to compete in UFC because he was like the skinniest sort of like least intimidating member of the family, but their whole family in Brazil, like they had like a whole squad of people that were competing and were good at jiu-jitsu. Royce, the guy that beat everybody, was like kind of like the lowest bracket guy. Mm-hmm. They're the champion of the family. His name was Hickson Gracie, and he's just sort of like legend in jiu-jitsu. This guy that's like he conducts himself like almost like a like he lives like what a movie would play. Basically, he goes in like a cold stream in the rivers, doing like Kundalini yoga, like breathing in and out, like doing all the warrior shit that like real,
like that montage in the warrior movies. He does all that stuff in real life.
Yeah, and it's real. It ain't some delusion like Steven Seagal. Okay, so that guy would have been like my, like fighting idol. Basically, it's like, okay, well, it's clear what he has that I don't. Mm-hmm. Which I'm much less disciplined these days. Back when I was like in the military or competing in jiu-jitsu and stuff, but like the discipline aspect and just the ability to be confident and calm, like that was huge for me, from that guy. Mm-hmm. And then my sort of like dating coaching idol is Owen Cook, the guy that I mentioned before.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. I hope you guys took notes. I hope you guys took notes. Dropping gems today.
Yeah. Do you have somebody that you, when you close your eyes, like obviously you've made yourself into an amazing woman, but like when you close your eyes, like, is there somebody that stands out as like an inspirational woman or anybody?
In terms of running a business and being super successful, I'm going to be cliche and go with Oprah. Okay. Then aesthetically, I'm really big on taking care of my body, aging well, all those kinds of things. And so when I think about like how I want to carry myself and what I'd like to look like as I progress through life. Gabrielle Union and Angela Bassett like come to top of mind just because they look amazing. I watched specifically an interview of Angela Bassett, and she was talking about how she invests in taking care of her body and like all the different things she does to take care of her body. And
what's her age? 67.
Yeah, but she looks amazing.
Okay. And what's the other one? Gabrielle
Union. People compare me to her a lot. I don't think I look like her, but
she was in something. She's 52.
She looks amazing though.
Yeah, she looks great. Yeah, I've seen her in something. I just can't remember.
Bad Boys.
No, it's not that. I don't know. But her face looks super familiar. I just don't. Oh, Bring It On. Yeah, yeah.
You know, she was almost 30 playing a high schooler and Bring It On.
Yeah, that's crazy.
She was like 29. She was either 28 or 29.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's her. She's been my idol since then. But this comes up a lot because people that know me personally and they've seen my evolution from what I used to look like to what I look like now, they're like, okay, you didn't get any surgery. I've always been meat-free, dairy reduced. Gluten-free is new, but as soon as I realized I had to be gluten-free, I adopted immediately. But I haven't made like any changes. I've never been under the knife. I work out a little, but I don't do a lot of working out. And so they're confused. They're like, how are you so different now than then? And you haven't made any significant changes. And I watched an interview of Gabrielle Union and one of Angela Bassett, and they were all talking about their mindset changes and everything that's changed between, like, maybe we'll do a before and after picture one episode. The only major significant difference is mindset. And when I adopted that, like everything followed through very shortly. So yeah, when I think about like the kind of woman I want to be, the way I like to carry myself, those are like my two main, and then Oprah for businesswoman for sure.
I feel like, one of your products in your coaching store needs to be cameos where you say it's cold in here and there must be some
Don't you think I look like her too?
No, I'm just saying that.
I was gonna say people have said that before, and I think she's beautiful. I just don't see it.
I don't see the resemblance, no, but you might as well do it now.
Okay, last thing I have on the docket. I know you've been wanting to talk about this forever. The prevalence of non-monogamy in dating culture.
Yeah.
I saw this on the docket and I was like, there are so many non-monogamous dating shows that are out right now.
Really?
So I wanted to get your take on it.
What are some of the shows?
One is, so they're from the same company. I think they're both on TLC. One is Seeking Sister Wife and one is Seeking Brother Husband.
Okay.
And you can get the point of it from the premise. But there are multiple
third person or something. It's like a couple finding the third person, basically.
Yeah. So there are people from all different stages. Some people are looking to add somebody. Some of them already have somebody and they're just showing what their life is like. Some of them are seeking a third person to add. I can't think of his name right now, but there's a skinny black guy on there. He has 2 wives. They both work. He considers himself the king. He doesn't do anything, but he takes care of the kid now. Now they have a kid, so he takes care of the kid. But he doesn't drive. They drive him around. And he had them get married to each other so that they have like a connection. And they're actively seeking a third woman to bring to this dynamic. And there are women that want to join them. And I find it fascinating. And then there's another couple on there. They've been looking for a third wife from, I don't know, the husband has a thing for Brazilian women because all 3 women that they've tried have all been from Brazil. And they finally have one. But he's a breadwinner, very handsome. He's been with his current wife for 15 years or something like that. Mm-hmm. They legally divorced so that he could do a fiance visa and bring a girl over from Brazil. And they just moved her in and they're all a thing.
I want to believe this is like I want to believe in it like I do like religion or something. Like it sounds like a pretty fun promised land. Like I'm kind of like chaotic and risk oriented by nature. And so I get really like drawn in by these things. And, in my last relationship, we had some wild times and all that stuff. And a lot of it was driven by me. And I think a lot of guys mess themselves up by pushing for stuff too hard. And then you got to think about, does your partner actually like it? Or are they just trying to kind of make you happy? And there's a lot of pitfalls with non-monogamy. And it's like, I want to believe, I know there's couples that make it work. And then I kind of question, like, okay, well, are they going to last? What's their communication look like? What about their division of resources and attention and all this stuff? And I'm skeptical, because honestly, I would love nothing more to be part of some crazy shit like that. But
you would have multiple
if
wives
I
or girlfriends,
and everyone could be truly happy, and you could have like good communication, cooperation, conflict resolution, and everybody's had all the skills that you learn in therapy, and everything was like truly good. Yeah, of course. I think that would be awesome. Yeah, I really would.
Sounds like a lot of work.
I don't think it's real. That's my thing. I just don't think it's real.
I just sent you some pictures. The first one is the guy that doesn't work with, I think, let me see.
Oh, I see it. Okay.
Yeah, the first one, he doesn't work. They all work and take care of him.
Yeah, I was skeptical. I was like, all right, your girls are probably ugly, but they're not.
Wait. Which picture are you looking at?
The one where
how many women are in it?
2.
No. Go to the
black girl. Hold on.
Go to the other link.
Other link.
I think your perception of what you just said might change.
No, not that. Yeah, no. Yeah, hold on. One of them isn't too bad, but yeah, I don't think I would be in that situation right there.
But they have a beautiful home.
Okay. That's the guy that doesn't work.
He doesn't work. They all work. They have a beautiful home. He stays and takes care of the kids. When he goes on dates to try to bring more women in, he's using their money to take them on dates because he doesn't have his own, because he doesn't work.
Crazy. He'd probably be like, he can never pipe up. And I'm
going to send you an episode. I think
he's got.
It confuses me. I don't know. But the second one, that's Garrick. I think his wife, his original wife is the white lady, Danielle. And then the black girl is the one that they just brought over from Brazil. I can't think of her name. But they're all attractive.
Yeah.
They're doing it for religious reasons. That they think that the Bible calls for men to have multiple wives. I think it's interesting that the husband has only sought out Brazilian women for his third wife.
It's what God told him to do. Don't worry.
God told him to bring a baddie from Brazil. But everybody's informed. There's no sneaking.
Yeah. He's
taking care of them both. He takes them both on dates. He splits his time evenly between them. It's not for me personally, but it looks like he's making an earnest attempt to do it the right way, if there is a right way.
Like some of these like culturally structured romantic arrangements, I think I don't think people are as happy as what they would otherwise be with just like this pure freedom to just, there's not like a lot of like religious and like cultural programming there. I think that they make it work. And I think it's beautiful, because I think devotion and dedication are huge.
Yeah.
And I love loyalty, right? Like I want people to last the rest of their lives as a couple. Sure. But not at the expense of like, it should be the perfect intersection of happiness and devotion, right? And it's probably not, it's not perfect. It's going to be tough, but it's better than like, having some weird like patriarchal programming where it's like, oh, the man needs, I don't know. But
there's actually, you would probably like, let me see if I can find it. There's a couple on this most recent season And here it is. Okay, I found the new cast, and they only brought in a second wife because the current wife was like, I love you, but you are a lot, and I need somebody else to be able to handle you with. And she wasn't talking about just sexually. She was like, in general, like, I can't do this all by myself. I need help. And I would like to have another person to, I don't want to say bear the burden.
As long as
So
it's not a
so with her
standard
idea,
of skipping town, right? As long as it's like a desperate attempt to, like, you know, like if she truly is just like has that straightforward mindset about it, cool. But if it's like this desperate attempt to like fix something that she's otherwise going to run away from, and
yeah,
that's my little suspicion. I don't know. Like, I would love to believe that non-monogamy is like this functional thing that lasts for ages, and I think that some people do it. I'm suspicious, and I don't know if I want to gamble with my own relationship
yeah,
anymore, because you know what I mean. Like,
yeah.
so
So I just sent you a picture of the couple I'm talking about.
okay,
The wife is in the pink. They actually look just like each other, but the wife is in the pink, and she also is maintaining. She has her own separate friendship with the second wife. I put that in
okay,
quotes. The reason it's not working is because the second wife lives about an hour away, so she doesn't get to spend as much time with the husband as she'd like, and so she kind of feels like, you know, every other weekend fling and not an actual member of the relationship. So she wants to date, and the wife is like, no, she's telling her husband, get it together. I need this to work because I can't deal with you just on my own. I need somebody else to help.
yeah.
I think that's more though the unhealthy ideal that people have, that when you're in a relationship, that person is supposed to be your everything, instead of realizing that nobody can ever be anyone's everything.
Right. Like, could he otherwise just go take on a hobby, or, you know, like something that's not going to be jealousy inspiring, or, you know,
She's not jealous at all though. She's like, please go have sex with her. No, seriously.
Like,
I'm kind of doubting, like, does she even like her husband?
yeah. Well, some people get turned on by that stuff, but, you know, who knows, like, what's going on. But I'm still skeptical about the setup. Like, so you said not for me, but, like, do you think that, um, that non-monogamy is a functional, like, thing that has potential for longevity?
I think some people can do it. I think the people that can do it were either raised in a culture where that not necessarily is normalized, but it's an option, so that they're taught ways to do it in a respectful way. Like, there are some religions that allow for non-monogamy, but there's rules. Like, the husband has to be able to afford to have that many wives. You can't just have a bunch of wives just so you can dip in and out of them. Like, you have to be able to afford them, and you have
Yeah.
to be able to treat them equally, and you can't take from one to give to the other. Like, you have to be able to maintain the first one as you're going to maintain the second one, and the first one has to approve. Like,
Cut and color budget for each one. Cut and color budget for each one. You need
exactly. So it's like no one's getting favoritism, you know?
Yeah.
But then, like, did you ever watch Sister Wives?
No.
I was obsessed with that show.
Yeah.
But do you know the premise of it?
I'm assuming it's like a Mormon thing.
Okay. They were a Mormon family. I want to say they were fundamentalists, but I'm not 100% sure. He had 3 wives. The show started when he was bringing in his 4th, and it seems like when he brought in the 4th, he realized, oh wait, I actually really love this woman. I've never known what love is. Like, now I realize I was doing the other relationships out of duty. And it showed in the way he acted. Like, he treated the 4th wife like a companion, like somebody he was truly emotionally and intimately connected to. And long story short, he's not married to any of the other ones anymore, except for the 4th wife, because he got like a clear realization of, this is how it was supposed to feel the entire time. And I've never felt like this until now.
And he didn't have that experience, that frame of reference. So it's like this thing that happens to him later. I have this suspicion that that's kind of how most of these open relationships or whatever are going to go,
Mm-hmm.
because you're going to get that one thing, and not only will it be new, but even if you take the newness aspect out of it, just the intensity of the connection with that one person, that's just the way things tend to flow.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to be real. I like to be as real as possible. I don't want to
Yeah.
have like some fake idea of like what would be really cool, because hey, I mean, 10 wives, that sounds pretty good. Except for that's a pipe dream, I think, I don't know.
I think like a healthier alternative. I mean, like I said, I think maybe some people can do that. I think a healthier alternative goes back to the beginning of the episode. Have a healthy dating life previous to getting married, so you have like a lot of experience, variation, like you know what you like, you know what you don't like, instead of trying to find that while in a committed relationship. I think we're both a fan of dating multiple people and then narrowing down until you find somebody that aligns with you. I think that's a healthier alternative. Personally, I think from what I've seen in all these non-monogamous shows, when they find somebody they really like, they're like, oh wait, I'm not non-monogamous anymore. I just didn't have what I wanted because I didn't have enough experience to know what I wanted.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah,
I think that's a good place to leave it.
Yeah. So you're not getting 4 wives.
No. I don't think it's real. I mean, as a dude, you want diversity, and I don't think you can. I don't know, like people have said. I think we talked about this on a different episode, but I think there are some guys that claim they are totally sexually fulfilled with one person.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't understand that at all. I think as a dude, like there's always this sort of like black hole of desire, and I don't know if it can really ever be like satiated all the way. But I don't think that means you play with your relationship structure. You fight against that, just like you fight against the urge to eat chocolate.
So it's maturity and making intentional decisions.
Yeah.
Sure. All right, well, that's all I have on my docket. Anything else you have to add?
I think that's it. Y'all make sure you're following us on our accounts.
Yes.
Hit the screen below for our TikTok, Instagram accounts.
Absolutely.
We have clips that come out every single week, and you can download the full episode on Spotify and on YouTube. And we'll see y'all next time.
I'll see you in person next week. You won't have to miss me. Bye.
Bye.